Hi, Joy.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Are you
Um,
well?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Good afternoon. It's 14 hours, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. For those that will be watching the video afterwards, thank you for joining in. Today's session, we will be focusing on some of the critical things in business, people, or some of the aspects in a business, people, hiring the right people in your business, as well as how do you deal with clients that constantly require you instead of some of the employees in your business. So my name is Ntabiseng Maidi. I am the CEO of MMCP Advisors. And at MMCP Advisors, we strive to building sustainable, scalable, as well as sellable business. We know that as business owners, we go into these businesses to create wealth for ourselves, our families, to be able to create, to transfer those businesses as well, and maybe to sell them at a later stage. So our aim, our focus at MMCP is to build sustainable, scalable, and sellable businesses. I am a certified value builder coach, and I'm actually using the value builder system where in terms of our strategic advice. And as indicated earlier on, I'm Ntabiseng, the CEO of MMCP, and I am a chartered accountant by profession. My screen doesn't want, pardon Siri. Siri was trying to help me there. So in terms of, it looks like we've got quite a few people that are joining us this afternoon. Thank you again for joining us. We are scheduled for 14 hours. So if you are joining us late, sorry, but you can still, we haven't actually started with the content. So as indicated, I'm Ntabiseng Maidi. I'm the CEO of MMCP Advisors. I'm a CA by profession, and I'm also holding an LLB, specializing in corporate law and tax. I'm an certified value builder coach, and the system was actually crafted by a guy called John Warlow, and he's a writer of a few books. Three of them is uh, um, Build to Sell. The other one is Automatic Customer, and the next one, yeah, I think I remember only two for now. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm a past CFO of several companies, and I still continue to do outsourced CFO services for businesses that cannot afford a full-time CFO. And I also serve on several boards as a non-executive director. And I've reduced my participation a lot there. And I used to sit on several boards. Some of them were listed and some were unlisted companies. So that's basically that's basically me. And let's look at our topic for today, which is what most small businesses have. The dilemma, one of the dilemmas that they have is hiring high potential employees, and after that, what do you do when your customer or when your clients want you? One of the issues that I've come across, and I also get a lot of questions around the area of hiring high potential employees or hiring employees, is whether should I hire a high potential employee or should I hire someone who's still fresh from university and they don't have experience? So we all know that as business owners, one of the things that we lack a lot is people skills or human resources skills or the technical know-how as to how do you deal with those areas. So the first one that I'm going to deal with is the hiring of high potential employees. And you must understand here, we are not talking about high value employees, because there is a difference. High value employee, you are talking about someone who's experienced, who's coming with a lot of experience in your business, and they're meaning that you are going to pay a bit of a premium to have them in your business. But here we're going to focus on people with potential, meaning that as a business owner, you need to be able to identify that potential. As indicated before, we are not all equipped with the skill of spotting talent unless if you have got a certain skill, embedded skill that you have obtained throughout your business life or that you have obtained in your career. You need to be able to identify high potential employees. So there is an economist, a French economist, he's called Jean-Baptiste, and he says that an entrepreneur is one who shifts economic resources out of one area of lower and into an area of higher productivity and greater yield. So meaning that you need to be able to utilize some of the things that you have currently and utilize in a way that they will actually give you higher yield. One of those things that you need to do is what we call bootstrapping. How many of you have had someone say, I started my business from my garage. I started my business from such and such a place. In South Africa, there's one business that I really like. And if you have got time, just go and research it. There's a guy called Stephen Saad who started a pharmaceutical business in South Africa. And his business has actually grown to be one of the top pharmaceutical companies in South Africa. And through that process, he also went and acquired other businesses or other pharmaceutical companies. So when you look at a list of pharmaceutical companies that were started in South Africa and are quite successful, you will find him in that list. There's also a wide list that is out there where the business owners have actually indicated that they started their businesses from their garages. The likes of Facebook was started in a dormitory at the university. So just give yourself time to go and look at those entities and check how did they actually do it. So that is bootstrapping, and one would ask, what is bootstrapping? Bootstrapping is utilizing the little resources that you have in your business and stretching them to an extent that you make your business a success. What do I mean? When you start a business, you need to be able to look at your resources, your financial resources especially, and determine how far can they push you. I have in there, my business is 10 years. And at some point I've been working from home. And the one big mistake that I did was to go and get an office in a high-end location, if you can call it that. Because those things have got implications, financial implications. What played in my mind was that my clients want to see my good address. If my address is in Kyalami, it will mean that I'm a good business person. And if my business is holding a certain code, it means I'm running a successful business, only to find that it's not the case. And one other thing is I also went and acquired someone who was more experienced, but they ended up costing my business a lot of money because I had to pay them a much higher salary. Mind you, me as a business owner, I wasn't even earning a salary out of that business. So you need to be able to bootstrap your business, especially when you're starting. Bootstrap your business as much as you can. If you cannot afford to hire someone with a lot of experience whom you are going to pay money, I will assist you in identifying what is it that you can do to bring in a high potential person. One challenge again is, as business owners, small businesses or small medium enterprises have got inherent risks, or can I say aspects, as to how they operate and why they survive. Someone who has been in corporate for almost 15, 20 years, they usually find it very difficult to move from being employed by a big corporate and coming in as an employee in an SME. There's usually some friction that goes on there. There's usually some challenges that goes on there. Unless if you move from a corporate and become a business owner, in that way, in that case, your mentality as well has changed. So one needs to be careful when you decide to hire the right people in your business. The next one is, as a business owner, you need to be able to develop a knack to spot talent or to identify people that you can groom within your business, whereby those people, you can actually utilize them for succession planning, or you can promote them to much bigger positions. I know in the industry of several businesses where a person came in as an intern, and the business owner identified at a very early age that this person has got potential to grow. And what they did is they started developing that person. And as I speak today, one of the ladies that I know is participating in a competition called Under 35, Under 35, because the manager or the CEO or the owner of that business identified Ketiwe as one of the people that she can actually groom in the industry. So as business owner, we need to hone the neck of identifying high potential employees for our businesses, because we cannot afford to be hiring C-suite employees. So I hope that will help you. I know it's difficult when one speaks about bootstrapping. Yes, you can bootstrap your business to a certain extent, but as you start your business, try by all means to do most of the things yourself or to learn. And at a certain stage is then that you can transfer the skill to someone who is less experienced but has got potential. I'm going to be talking later on about how do you spot the talent. So one of the things in terms of hiring, the one mistake that we do as small, medium enterprise owners is that we do hire, and most of the time we hire wrong people. We hire wrong people, and I'm talking from experience. We hire wrong people because most of the time we put emotion more than facts when we hire. You meet your uncle, and uncle says, yo, my daughter has been out of a job for so many years, can you hire them? Because you're exercising some empathy there, you end up hiring that person. You meet someone, they impress you with one thing, and you suddenly decide to like them, or you like them, and you bring them into your business only to find that they are not a fit in your business. So as small business or as business owners, we need to put brakes, if I can call it, in how we hire and the process of how we hire. The one thing that I really like nowadays is there's a lot of free products, or what I can call free apps that you can utilize, entry apps that you can utilize to do your hiring process. Let me also indicate that I always had an attitude towards utilizing placement agencies to hire employees in my business. And on one occasion, I used them, and I found that it was a disaster as well. And when I go and do an introspection, I realized that there were certain things that I did not look at. Yes, I did have a job description, but one thing that I failed to do was to have a job profile. A job profile says to me, I'm looking for someone who is between 35 and 45, someone who has got experience or who doesn't have experience, someone who has got certain values, not experience, certain values, someone who has got potential for me to groom them in the business. So it's important to have a job profile. And what it does is it keeps you anchored in your search as you search for potential employees and prevent you from springing in for the first application that you get instead of the best applicant. That is quite critical. And what I've gone through with some of the placement agencies is they will sell you what they will call the best applicant because of the value. For them, sometimes there is a monetary value attached to it. And they will paint a very great picture about the target that they are presenting to you or the applicant that they are presenting to you. And they will sometimes say, we'll send you 3 CVs because these are the best 3. And as I've gone through that process, I realized that there are some flaws in the process. First, I did not give them my job profile. I only gave them the job description for the work. And I wasn't specific to them in terms of what kind of a person am I looking for. The next thing is that have an elevator pitch whereby anyone who would want to come and work in your business, they need to understand your vision, your values, your value proposition, and what you stand for. If people know that your priority in a business is your client intrinsic, a person must know that when you say your client intrinsic means that you do not chase after the gross margin at the expense of the client. If someone comes, where someone says, one of my values is hardworking, that is not a value and that is not a character. Everyone can actually say that. People must have values as to you. They must understand your values as a business as to why you want people to understand those values. If you say as part of your values, we want innovation, continuous innovation as a value, your potential employees or applicants need to know that you want innovative people joining your business. So have an elevator pitch where people can have an understanding of what your business is all about. In terms of hiring, I remember we're still bootstrapping to a certain extent. Try to look for people within your networks, professional networks especially, as well as personal networks. When you look and on personal networks, I don't mean one uncle's child or cousins, whatever. Look at people that you have come across, where you have created relationships with, where most of the time you share similar values, where people are, obviously they say that you must have a certain type of a circle as a person. And most of the time in that circle, you'll have people that share same or to a certain extent, some values with you. So that is what you do. The next one is you can also look at your professional networks, where you go and say, in your networks, like in my case, Kathy, I remember you had Courtney who used to work for you, and I really liked her work ethic. Do you know where Courtney is? Yes, I know where she is. Let me call her. And that's how you can actually also go and poach some of the people that you know within your network. For those that have tried to put out adverts out there for open position in your business, a lot of you will tell you that you get to a large extent 80% of people who are not even qualified for a certain position in your business, because they just apply for everything and anything that they see. I remember someone who was a cashier one day applied for a job as an accountant in my business. And there for me, it just told me that this one doesn't read, because the advert was quite ambiguous in terms of what I needed. But they were taking chances. I do like in January, I was on a drive of hiring financial planners, and you could have seen the respondents that came through, and the adverts were quite clear in terms of who I needed and what I needed. And most of them were just irrelevant. The lovely thing is that I put what we call a hidden golden egg in my questionnaire. I used a free platform for doing the recruitment, and everyone was going through that. I didn't accept anything in my email box, not at all. So anyone who wanted to apply, they had to go through that application, and I had to put in some form of elimination within that space. Let's say you want people you want to note if everyone has actually read your advert. What you can do is that golden egg, you can just ask a random question. Who won the Rugby World Cup final last year or in 2019 or wherever that it was? Or who's the current president of Botswana? Those are just random questions, but you also want to understand whether a person has actually gone through that entire document and read it to understand. And where you ask them to respond in a certain way, have they actually done that? There are many tools that are entry-level tools that are suitable for small businesses. Some of them, you don't actually pay anything. And some, they will give you 30 days trial. And after, if you do your recruitment within 30 days, you'll be done by 30 days, and you actually don't need to use that again. And they will help you as well to have a database of people who have employed, the ones who have applied, and the ones that have actually been eliminated. And if you want to keep those CVs, you can actually keep those CVs and the summaries as well for later use. So use a golden egg in the process. The next one is to test intellectual potential from the beginning. As you do that questionnaire, where they are responding online, put some tests, especially where you are going to do some random, where you want to look at the random pattern. You can just put in 5 or 10 questions that will allow you to recognize potential. I must say that as business owners, we don't need to only focus on our craft, because that is the one big mistake that we make, that you are a small business owner, you don't have resources to hire skills, but you still don't give yourself 1 or 2 hours in a day to obtain another skill other than what you know. Because once you give yourself time to go and understand how tests or psychometric tests work, I don't think it will take you a day to actually do them. Now things have been made simple. You will be in a position to do that without actually appointing a human capital or recruitment agency to actually help you with that. They can help you at a later stage where you are looking at a high value employee to join your business. The last thing that you need to do is you need to measure the fit in your business. I remember 3 or 4 years ago when business was quite tough, I ended up accepting a call for an executive position in one company. And oh my goodness, I was tortured by doing psychometric tests for 2 days. One test I think was almost 6 hours, and it was torture. And after doing that, they came back and they were like, "Wow, would like to give you an offer because we can see that you have got an entrepreneurial mind. You've got this kind of you've got this types of attributes," and they were quite nice as well and accommodating to actually give me feedback as to why they like me. They didn't get all of that information from the interview, but they went and they did the psychometric test. And the psychologist that I sat with was quite a lovely person because he told me who I am by just utilizing the psychometric test. So there is a lot of free psychometric tests as well in the market. And as a small business owner, you can be in a position to utilize them. You can go and actually use them. This is one of the free one, the Cobble test. And what it does is it measures obviously the strengths of your employee, but what it does is it looks at whether a person can be a fact finder. The next thing is, can a person follow through on their own without you actually tell them to follow through? It looks at quick start, whether a person has got initiative to start certain things on their own without being prompted. And lastly, someone who is more of an implementer. You actually need, because all of this are quite important in a small business, that you do not need to be always as a person or as a person who's got an ideas. You don't need to be the only one in your business who comes up with ideas. As I indicated earlier, you need innovation, you need self-starters, and this will help you identify at a very early age whether this person is a self-starter, whether this person is an innovator or not. I'm quite lucky. I'm not saying that you must come and poach my employees. I'm quite lucky that in my team currently, I've already identified the people who can work on their own without me actually being involved. I only get a final product, like the session for today. I actually just saw a post. I gave a topic, and I was given a post, and I had to prepare for the session today. And that, for me, that's how you actually even improve some of the people that you have in your business, that you are in a position to give them the skill of starting something or of being innovative or coming up with ideas. So this is, in short, some of the things that you can use in your business when you want to hire high potential employees. I'm going to repeat. Hiring employees, you don't need to hire high-value employees who have got 5, 6, 7 years experience. But what you can do is you can hire someone who has got potential. They might not have experience at all, or their CV could be a 1 page or 2 pages, but the attitude and the potential that they have will make them a perfect fit for your business. Because once you have got that, you will be in a position they've got a teachable, what we call a teachable spirit or a teachable attitude. So if you want to know how you will actually move from having this person, yes, you have hired this person, now how do I transfer skills to this person? There is a webinar that I did at the beginning of the year. It's called the Rainmaker's Dilemma. In that Rainmaker's Dilemma, I talk about how do you delegate? How do you get your employees to do what you are supposed to do? So you can go and look at that. And I'm hoping that in the new year, we are going to be looking at that again in more detail. So that is the first part of our webinar. The next one is, now that you have got all these employees in your business and you still have those clients that are very, very difficult. And these clients say, now I want to deal with Ntabise. I still have them. They'll SMS me at 9 in the evening and ask me a question that they might have asked one of my employees in the business. So how do you deal with clients who still want you? First of all, what it means when clients always come to you, it means you are a hub and spoke in that business, meaning your business will never grow. Your business will not go to the next level because you are the technician, you are the manager, and you are also the CEO in that business. So, and we all know that you can see that bicycle, everything comes from that hub. Most of the time we say, if you are the hub of the business, you become a bottleneck. The growth of your business gets limited, where you have to deal with all of your clients. For those that are probably thinking of selling their businesses at some stage, a buyer will usually discount the price and see your business as being a risky business where you are the key person in the business, where every decision comes through you, or where you have to do every process that happens in your business, if that has to come through you, that is a risk for that business. So the other thing is that it becomes as though you are masking certain frailties within your business, where if you have to be knowing everything within your business, it has got its drawbacks. So you need to work on how do you actually migrate your clients from not only being dependent on you, and also making sure that they are also comfortable in dealing with anyone within your business. By the way, you have brought in someone who has got the skill. So why don't you empower them to actually start engaging with your clients? So what do you do then? What do you do when you've got customers that always want to talk to you? When you hire, first of all, Earlier on, I spoke about hiring people with high potential. I didn't say hire people with intelligence only. You said high potential, because you can get someone who's very intelligent, but they don't have people skills. So that could be an issue. So have in your process of getting people in your business, make sure that your people have got EQ more than IQ. Because once they have got the EQ, they will understand that the business, what we are doing in business, it's not for them, but it's for the business, and they'll be client intrinsic. They will focus on the business. The next one is look at, master your craft first of all as well. Because what I've noted with some businesses, as I do my advisory, is that yes, you are a business owner, but there are certain processes in your business that you don't even understand how they are done. Because you hired a consultant, they gave you a manual, or they came and trained your staff, and even if your staff is not telling you the truth, you actually you believe it. But here, because you are creating something for your business, have an understanding. It doesn't mean have an understanding, but also master the craft of what you are doing so that you can transfer it to the next person. Let me give you an example. Let's take someone who measures, those who are playing golf. You don't just go and pick up a golf club and leave. There's someone who specializes in measuring people, the width, the length, and their standing and the hand, and then that club is going to be cut, and how that the rubber is actually, the handle is being done so that the person has got, there is clear proportion when they're holding a golf club. That person has mastered the craft of doing that. But imagine if he doesn't extend, or if he doesn't train some of his employees to actually do the same service to clients. It means this guy will be busy 365 days, being the only one who's actually fitting clubs in a pro shop. So what he needs to do then, after mastering his craft, what he does is he needs to benchmark his service. He needs to have a benchmark of, and this can also be recorded. As part, remember we spoke about standard operating procedures in one of our webinars. Here you can also have a process written down. That is a benchmark of actually what you need to do in your business to make sure that your clients are getting exactly the same service. Even when you are not around, your clients should be in a position to get the best fitting as though it was you. And how you actually do that, make sure that you involve some of those high potential employees that you know that you are going to transfer the skill to, and it also sorts out one problem in your business of succession planning. So, and your business will also not be dependent on you to succeed. I remember I also spoke about you being a key person in your business is a big risk, both for funders and both for investors. Because once you are not in a position to work in your business, it means there's no business. So one thing that you can implement. So let's go back to a golf club fitter. Instead of working in one room or in a cubicle alone, what they can do is they can have a much bigger space where they can assist 3 clients at the same time, or concurrently. You have got booths whereby your neighbor can actually eavesdrop on what you are saying as you talk to your client. In that way, you are transferring the skill indirectly to your employees. How do you implement that if you are in sales? Take your sales employees with you when you do pitches. And as you do the pitch, they will know they will almost like replicate how they do the presentations, because you would have actually, let's say you've got a way of closing a deal. There's certain 5 steps that you have to use to close a deal. So if they hear you many times as you close the deals, in that way, you would have actually transferred the skill. The last one is whereby you find it's quite difficult for you to actually do all the four things. Why don't you do videos? I know of a plumbing company in south of Joburg, whereby the business owner, he's a plumber, and his business started growing quite fast. And he could not actually go to do a lot of call outs. And obviously, you know, some of the guys, when they go for a call out, they'll do a shabby job and people complain. Or sometimes when they get there, the fault didn't even warrant a call out. So what he did is he created videos of how to fix certain things quickly, how to fix a tap that is leaking. He created videos for that. So when you go to his website and want to book a service, you will also get that option of how to. And now on YouTube, there's quite a lot of them. So what you can do is, if your clients constantly require you to provide the service, why don't you create videos? I'm not saying do free videos that you can give away. You can create videos whereby your clients can actually be sent that video, or they can access that video free of at a fee, and they can actually sort out the problem. Remember, there is this thing as a business owner or in business, you need to create multiple streams of income, or so you can have people as automatic customers where they are doing subscription. If you have got clients that are on subscription, and they can actually access your video for free as part of the subscription. And in that way, your service is you did it once and you're accessing too many people for it. So those are the things that you can do in actual when your clients always want to talk to you. The implications of these 2 topics of today is that some businesses do not grow purely because of this dilemma. You as a business owner, you are in your business 7 days a week, and you are not even in a position to actually work on your business. So then as part of the offering at MMCP, we provide, I can call it an assessment tool, whereby you can determine whether your business is dependent on you, or whether you are the key person in the business, you are the revenue generator, or you are the rainmaker in your business. Because those things are the ones that are actually slowing the growth of your business. And if you intend on selling your business, those are the things that actually have got a big impact on your business. So ask yourself a question. Is your business dependent on you? Are you in a position to hire people, and do you know how to actually do that? So that's that. So this, lastly, I would like to also remind you of what the Value Builder system as part of our coaching process. By the way, we have gone through our second cohort of businesses that that went through our program for Value Builder, and we're quite excited that 2 of the businesses in the first cohort are actually in a fundraising state, that they've identified the issues in their businesses. We helped them with being funding ready, and now they've completed their business plans, and they are submitting their business plans to their funding memorandums to investors, so that they can actually bring in cash in their business, because they have identified that the growth in their business is delayed by not having certain things. So as a reminder, what our program looks at, we look at the assessment that you'll be doing. We look at the financial performance of your business, and it doesn't mean only the numbers, but whether you are constantly doing your financials, management accounts, AFSs, and that. Does your business have potential to grow? And have you identified a potential market for you to grow, a niche market? Is that Switzerland structure? The Switzerland structure, meaning, Switzerland is on its own right in the middle of Europe. And that means, is your business dependent on one key customer, one key supplier, or one key individual? You could be that individual in the business. If your business is dependent on those, that is a risk for your business. The next one on valuation teeter totter is we're looking at whether your business generates enough income or not. Because once you don't have certain things in your business, it affects your cash flow. Once you don't have like the likes of recurring revenue, is your business generating recurring revenue? Do you have potential to actually restructure your service offering so that it allows you to have recurring revenue? Earlier on, I spoke about creating subscription model in your business that allows you to have recurring revenue. By the way, if you are going to be looking for funding at some point, funders, this is one of the things that funders will look at. Does your business have recurring revenue? Hence, these days, for those that are doing tenders or POs, you will notice that there are companies that are doing PO funding because the risk is quite high. Commercial banks don't want to go into they don't want to fund businesses where the risk of revenue is quite high, or of recurring revenue is quite low. So you need to improve of that. The next one, we also look at monopoly. Are you in a position to replicate your business, or if in other markets or other products? The next one is on customer satisfaction. Today, I just spoke what your clients, when your clients always want to work with you. Where customers are not satisfied with your employees, or how people in your business are providing the service, that can affect your business. But by implementing some of the strategies that we have here, that can actually improve customer satisfaction. And we all know that a happy customer will refer your business, and where there is referral of business, there is an increase in revenue. And the last one is being the hub and spoke of the business, whereby your business will never survive without you for a period of 3 months as a minimum. So those are the things that we look at. And where you find that you have scored low on any of those areas or 3 of those areas, we recommend clients that they join one of our programs whereby they can actually, we have developed a program whereby the program, we look at video learnings, we look at online tools, we do group calls for you to be able to learn. The next cohort that is starting in January, the last week of January. And if you are interested, you can just send me an email and we can talk about that. So these are some of the 2 guys that have actually gone through the program with me, and I'm glad to say one of them is actually sitting in the session tonight, this afternoon, and these are the things that they're saying about the program and the value that they are seeing that the program is providing. So any questions? Joy, I would like to allow the next 6 minutes for questions. If you have got any questions, you are most welcome to email us, and I will respond. And for those that would like to schedule some consultation of some sort, you are most welcome to go onto our website, which is mmcpadvisors.co.za. And in that area, you'll be able to get my calendar, and you can actually book some consultation, and then we can talk about some of the issues that we have. So this is where we are going to end our session today. And as indicated, our mission as MMCP is to make sure that we assist businesses to be scalable, to be sustainable, and eventually to be sellable. And that is where we're going to end our session for this afternoon. And I'd like to thank you for taking your time to listen in this afternoon. And for those that will be listening on our YouTube channel, thank you very much, and continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that whenever we've got some of these valuable webinars, you are in a position to get them as quickly as possible. And you can also share some of the learnings from our YouTube channel. Thank you very much again, and hope to see you in the next webinar, which is going to be in the last week of November, and that is going to be our very last session for the year. Thank you again, and have a good afternoon. Thank you.